Hello friends. This video is on a up note. Positive, bright, and optimistic. I want to remind you that all this talk we do about being aware, being red-pilled. What is red-pilled? Red pill is simply knowing the true intentions behind the reason people are doing what they're doing, as opposed to the surface appearance. Knowledge is power, whether in business or relationships or life. And when you are armed with the umbrella of knowledge that comes under the term red pill, you are aware. You go into the situation knowing the true reason people are doing what they're doing, the true intentions behind the actions, and you are simply not being fooled. You're aware of what's going on, whether you decide to take that, let's say relationship to the altar, or just make it a quick one night thing, or everything else in between. At least you are doing it with open eyes. You're under no illusions. And isn't that a beautiful place to be? Like, for example, let's say you are investing in the share markets. You know, you're hoping that your investment is going to go your way, whether you are buying on the upside or you're buying on the low side. You're hoping that it will go the direction that you want. But you're fully aware that the moment you put that money down, there is the risk of losing it. So it's not like somebody's telling you, hey, you can't lose. No, you can lose. There is that risk. But at least you take that risk knowing the risks are there. You're not under any kind of an illusion. You're not under any kind of a false belief that, oh, this is going to be forever. We're soulmates. For me, there's only you. I only have eyes for you. You know, you don't fall for that BS anymore. And it works both ways. It works both ways for men and women. But the point of this video is optimism, positivity, and when it's all wrapped up in a big ball, translates into hope, is what keeps us all alive. If there's no hope, there's nothing. Imagine, God forbid, someone who gets a very bad news from a doctor, and when he asks, well, what are my options? They said, there are no options. That is the end of hope. That's when you begin to die internally and mentally before you begin to die physically. And we don't want that. We don't want that. Although it's coming for all of us, there is no point, there's nothing to be gained by focusing on that. You want to focus on positivity, on brightness, on happiness, and on beauty of life instead of the dark side. The dark side is there, but you have nothing to gain by focusing on it. You should be aware of it. You should be aware of it, but never focus on darkness and pessimism and all the things that can go wrong. Just be aware of them. Take the necessary precautions. Take the necessary precautions. Meaning, if you are a man who, let's say, I'm speaking to the man now. If you are someone who's built a life for himself and you are putting it all online by marrying someone who said, I love you after 2 weeks, well, know that you are taking a big risk there. Know that you are, you are violating the rules of taking the precautions. Or even if you're not marrying, if you're just investing your emotionally emotions and your heart and your vulnerability, and you are believing what someone is telling you, and you've convinced yourself that this is forever, most likely it's not. As I've said it many times before, when it comes to the realm of relationships, the very fact that exes exist should be solid and foolproof, and only proof you need to you that relationships are at best a chance that you're taking that is for temporary enjoyment and entertainment. You cannot rely on it to last. Do you know anyone who doesn't have an ex? Well, unless you're 13 years old and you haven't started dating. Exes exist Because relationships are for the fulfillment of self. They have nothing to do with care and well-being of the other person. No. As I've said before, and I hate to repeat myself, that's your mother. That's not your wife or your husband. People get into romantic relationships strictly, always, without exception. Without exception. Did you miss that part? Without exception. To fulfill their own needs and wants. Anyone that tells you otherwise is, again, trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Anyone that, feigns really caring for your well-being, whatever. Try leaving a woman and say, well, you said you care about me. Well, me and my new girlfriend are going on a trip. Do you want to help us financially so we can have a better time? See how much she cares about you then. No. So, again, knowledge is power. In relationships, in business, and in life. So go into situations with open eyes, hope, brightness, and positivity. But keep in mind of the dark side that is there. Don't imagine that it's not there. Don't drive a $150,000 car without insurance saying, well, nothing will happen. It'll be okay. What about if it does? All the best.